to Chicago for AWP. I'd never been to an AWP, and I'd always felt that like that many poets in a building is like not a good idea. And so she got there. If memory serves, you got there like a day ahead of me, right? Set up the booth with her bum knee and dragged all the books and did everything that she does.
Yeah.
And then she set about making friends for all the brick books, as she is wont to do. By the time I got there, I'd be walking down a hallway and some person I'd never met before would stop me and say, "Oh, I've been talking to Kitty, and you need to come to this reading series that we're doing," or we need, she was out there making friends, like way ahead of all of us. That said, there are many things to say. That said, I saw that the Palmer House, that particular hotel where AWP was held in 2012, is closing.
No.
And they say they're closing because of the pandemic.
Oh, right.
But we all know the real reason they're closing is because Kitty is retiring.
Yes.
Yeah, they're waiting for you to come back,
I guess, yeah.
as we all were. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But you survived AWP. You did okay. You paced yourself.
barely, yeah. And I went back. I went to Los Angeles, but I went back because I knew that I could only see these friends that I would see there.
That's
No.
right, yeah.
But the contacts that you made for me in Chicago have been these enduring friendships.
Okay.
Tim Call and company, and
Yeah.
I go up there every couple of years and read or teach a workshop, and it's all been, you were much more of a mover and shaker in my own community than I was, for which I am truly grateful, because I'm not much of a mover and shaker.
Hey, Maureen.
Hi there.
Hi, Maureen.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, Arlene.
No, we're
All
unmuted.
dressed up in my favorite
I brought
color.
a whole box for
Cheers.
you.
Hello.
We've got a whole
cheers.
lot of you all.
I need to get mine. Wait.
You go get yours. Come
Oh,
on.
here they all come. Oh my goodness.
You'll notice I'm here as Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
I think I recognize you anyway.
Peter's in the background opening the champagne.
Good.
A good place. A good place.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can open this.
Kitty, are you at home right now? Well, I assume everybody's at home, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Home, that strange place. Here's, let's toast her again.
Oh,
Toast you
She
again.
doesn't have hers yet, though, because she.
No,
has
you're
to
working
open
on
it.
it.
Here we go. We can't see ourselves in the camera.
And
No.
now what?
Is that,
go get my glass of wine.
it's more like Biden and Trump. You got the right channel.
Oh, there's Maureen Hines.
Maureen Hines, yeah.
Hines.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Maureen.
Hi, Kitty.
Oh,
Oh, it's Adam.
Hi.
Hi, Adam.
God.
Hey, Elena. I actually have to go get my kids in a few minutes. I just wanted to log on here quickly. How long are you guys sticking around for tonight?
An hour or so.
Okay,
An
maybe
hour or
I'll
so.
pop by later then.
Mhm.
But hi, is that Stan I see? And
Hello.
Dawn?
Yeah.
And Dawn McKay.
Wow,
Hi.
great to see
Oh,
you.
there they are.
Dawn McKay on Zoom.
You see Dawn.
Oh, hi, Sue Elmsley. Hi.
Hi.
There. It popped.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Wow.
You have the real McCoy there, I think, Kitty.
Well, Elena arranged.
Not
Elena
muted.
and Brenda have been doing
Aw.
Kitty talking.
interesting things behind the scenes.
If you're muted, they will not hear you.
Okay, I'm not.
Oh, hey, Conan.
Okay, hang up the
Here,
phone.
Kitty.
Listen in and
Here's
Okay.
Here's
Okay,
Kitty.
great.
Woo.
boy.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey,
Simply the best. Yeah.
Simply the best.
Simply the best.
Better than all the rest. Better than anything.
We're gonna miss you so much, Kitty.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Well, I'll still be around.
You
Yeah,
will be
that's what I
around,
was
but
hoping.
not in the place that we know you to be.
You better be
Well, no question.
checking on you.
Well, hopefully we'll still get to play with you sometimes.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, travel restrictions and all, but I
I
will
know.
definitely make it to Victoria at some point.
Excellent.
Yay.
Yeah.
We'll be here,
Yeah.
probably.
how about St. John?
Pardon, Stan?
How about St. John's?
Well, I was just out there last November.
Well, Marlene, think you should come back. That's a
What?
year. Marlene was saying she should come back
Oh, okay.
Kitty.
whenever the restrictions lift.
Where did they
Oh, all right.
Oh, is that Wendy?
go? And
Yes. Hello, Kitty.
Hey, Wendy,
Hey,
good to
Wendy.
see you. So many people we know. Oh,
Hi, Arlene and Chris.
yes. Hi, Wendy.
Cheers.
And I guess, Kitty, you'll still be playing Lexilis.
Oh, well, yes. I mean,
well,
Laura and I play. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Sarah.
Hello.
Maureen.
there's Jean.
Oh, there's Dean.
Hello.
Oh, Dean.
Maureen.
Dean with
No,
facial
Jean.
hair. Oh,
I
my.
think she's muted.
There's,
Who's
yeah, a
muted?
lot
I'm
of people
muted.
are muted.
I tried to unmute mine. I'm not sure if I'm muted or not.
Can I unmute you? No.
You're
I can't.
unmuted.
Oops, now you disappeared. There you are. Yeah, just
Hi, Brian.
click your mute thing there. Jean,
Hey, Lynn.
Hey,
click your mute thing.
thank you.
Let's see.
And
Still
Angeline. And
muted.
Carolyn and Julia. Oh, my goodness. Sally McKay. Brian. Laura. Susan. John.
Probably. You want to try and see?
Renee. Jamie.
This is
Gary.
more Greek books people than I've ever seen at one time ever.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Gary Draper, I'm so glad to see you because I've been trying to figure out how to get in touch with you, but obviously you found out, so that's good. Hey, Eric.
It's a
Sally.
pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to see you, Kitty.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to leave my photo up because I look so appalling on the video. So,
Oh,
but I'm thrilled to see you.
Yeah, it's lovely to see you. Dawn and Stan are here too, somewhere.
Oh, I forgot my
I see
line.
them over in my corner.
You were- Speaker.
We just,
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
she said.
And Monique and Jessica.
Oh my God, there's a whole nother page.
Marika. I know.
Yeah,
You have to keep on scrolling to see who all is here.
Yeah.
Somebody's connecting.
Oh my gosh.
Lori, Jack,
Mhm.
Daryl,
can I ask a question?
Ian Mackay.
Mhm.
Dawn
What's your
and I have
question,
lost
Deb?
our picture.
Pardon?
Oh,
Dawn and I have
Oh,
lost
yeah.
our picture.
Oh, I see your picture.
Can you see us? Well, we can't see you.
We
We
can
can see you.
You
hi,
can-
Dawn.
There you
How
are.
wonderful to
Oh,
see you,
okay.
Dawn.
Check the other page.
say I'm
Hey,
Hey, Sonnet. Hey, Jason.
There's Dawn.
Oh, or is it?
I wanted to ask a
Ashley
question.
Noel.
If Brenda or Elena could maybe take a screenshot of everybody who came to your party.
It'd be
Hey,
fun.
Steve.
Mhm.
Wouldn't be fun.
Hey,
we're
Catherine.
recording it on.
Many people are mute.
Oh, you're recording it. Oh, good.
It's
How
now
lovely.
3 pages.
Hi, Kitty. Congratulations. And Mandy and Alana and Ashley.
Hi, Kitty.
Where's Stephen?
Oh,
Where's Stephen?
great,
Stephen
Jeanette.
Rice right there.
Oh, yeah.
All these people
Nice.
that you can't see
Oh
in,
my God, there's all this chat.
in real life.
Oh, chat. Oh, 14 comments in the chat. Wow.
Yeah.
Better get on it.
I could never
So
do
I
the chat and the faces at the same time. It throws.
So I think we'll begin.
I'm trying.
Uh,
Okay, begin.
people are showing up. If everybody could mute themselves so that we have a little bit more focus as we proceed. People, I'm sure, will keep joining.
Hey, Cattery.
So hello, everyone. My name is Elena Muntz, and I'm the fairly new publisher of Brick Books. And on behalf of the editors and staff and poets and friends and family of Brick Books, I would like to welcome you all to what we have billed as the most fabulous cross-country retirement party ever. Our beloved Kitty Lewis, one of the warmest and hardest working people in Canadian publishing. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. It's so great to see so many people here. I hope everyone has something bubbly in a glass nearby. For toast, and maybe some cake on hand to eat as you listen to the speeches and the tributes to come. First, I'll get some logistics out of the way. So as I said, please mute yourself unless it's your turn to speak. I thought we'd start off by having all of our cameras on if everyone feels comfortable so that Kitty can see all of our faces. But just be warned that if the proceedings start to glitch out, I may request that everyone turn off their videos as well, unless they're speaking. I'll be your host and moderator this evening, and we'll start with a few planned speeches and toasts, and then Kitty will speak, and then we'll turn the rest of the time. We're hoping for this to go on about an hour, maybe a little more. I'll turn the rest of the time over to the floor, so to speak, for people to make spontaneous toasts. If you'd like to make a short toast to Kitty, please indicate in the chat using the raise your hand function, which you can find by clicking on the participants icon at the bottom of your screen, and then clicking on the ... you should find the raise your hand function, and we'll keep track and keep a running order of speakers. Please also feel free to say hello and express your well wishes for Kitty in the chat, especially if you don't feel comfortable or we're running out of time. We're going to also record the chat so that Kitty can look at both the video of this and the chat in the future. So I want to properly begin by acknowledging that I'm joining this virtual gathering from the ancestral land of many nations, including the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat, and Mississaugas of the New Credit Territory, as well as those who have passed through this territory for thousands of years. There are others, of course, as well, that have resided and passed through all of the other areas where Brick Books is present. I think about how the original caretakers of this land shared stories and knowledge and poetry, and how we all owe them a debt of gratitude because we are able to share stories, knowledge, and poetry on this land today. For those of us who are guests on this traditional land, we need to find ways to shine light on the struggles that Indigenous communities have withstood for generations and still face today, and find ways to amplify their voices. I know we all grapple with how to make land acknowledgements meaningful, and that many of us are learning that true meaning comes from action. And I want to start off this celebration by saying how grateful I am to Kitty for supporting that ongoing work at Brick Books with integrity, humility, and heart. And so I will now turn to saying my own few words about Kitty and about her heart. I've often said over the past few years as we worked with such carefulness towards succession that hers are very big shoes to fill. But I've been thinking today about how really it's more that it's a big heart space to fill. Kitty has poured her very being into Brick Books for 30 years or so. And all of us in the Canadian poetry community and in the small press publishing community owe her a great debt of gratitude for her guiding spirit of collaboration. I remember when I first met Kitty in person, I had actually submitted my own manuscript to Brick Books 3 years in a row and had made it to the shortlist all 3 years, only to have the manuscript rejected because I was having an identity crisis. And it later morphed into a novel and was published by Nightwood Editions. And I met Kitty when I was reading at the Winnipeg Plein Air Writers Festival. She introduced herself and said she'd read my book and said she'd loved it and she'd love to help me promote it. And the next week she followed up of her own accord by sending me a whole spreadsheet of reading series and reliable contacts in every city across the country, and offered to write letters of introduction to any of these people. This to me is Kitty in a nutshell. She has been the most kind and generous mentor a person could ask for as I've slowly, hand over hand, taken the helm of Brick Books. So to Kitty. And without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Stan Dragland and Don Mackay, inimitable founders of Brick Books, to make another toast. So Stan and Don, you can unmute yourselves.
We're on mute. You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Good. First, I have something to read from Beth Follett, who's unavailable this evening. I met Kitty Lewis at an annual general meeting of the Literary Press Group of Canada. By now, her vitality is legion. But in 1998, I had not been in the habit of receiving immediate and overwhelming support such as Kitty gave, and friendship also given, immediately given. Plus, little known secret that now must be told, Kitty made a significant personal donation to Peddler back in those early days. In short, Kitty Lewis did everything possible to help me strengthen Peddler when Peddler was still emerging. For over 20 years, I have known that Kitty can be relied on anytime. Today we stand in a doorway. In the room behind us is Brick with Kitty. What a legacy. There is so much about literary publishing that only literary publishers understand. And Kitty's daily commitment to the entire poetry landscape has been impressive. What impresses me the most at this juncture, however, is the thorough manner in which Kitty prepared current collective members to move into the room ahead. Brick without Kitty. She has generously shared, and no doubt will continue to share, her knowledge and expertise, all the while making space for new vision. So let go with grace. To let go with grace is a queenly business. And Kitty, you're queen to me. All love flowing in your direction. Beth. Now, Kitty, I'm going to read the first part of what I have to say, but I am talking to you. For the 40th anniversary of Brick Books a mere 5 years ago, I put together a collection of tributes to Kitty to show her how much she was valued by the rest of us who were and are involved with Brick Books, whether as editors or authors, and also by the wider publishing community in Canada. That book was a chorus of applause. What can I add now? Perhaps that I remember the time when there was no Kitty Lewis in the organization. There were a few years when we published books without really knowing how to find an audience with them. To call Brick Books a small publishing house back then would be a serious understatement. We were half a publishing house because poets need readers. After all, poetry is meant to agitate and fertilize a reader's mind. Before Kitty, that wasn't much happening. We knew that, but what to do about it? Finally, Don Mackay mentioned his sister. She had no knowledge of publishing, but was available and had some skills. Okay, let's give her a try. Well, it was not at all long before Kitty understood publishing as well as anybody else in this country and any other country, and was guiding our ship and guiding it true. Indefatigable is the word that comes to mind now. Working for peanuts, she pretty much made Brick Books her life. As I look back on her accomplishments now, I see that she has been quietly and naturally helping to make something happen that is hugely important. She not only ensured that our writers found their audience, an exchange that is still crucial to the health of our culture, She also took the collective culture of brick books out into the wider world. She wrote it large. She cheerfully shared what she knew with others. This is cooperation rather than competition. This is living the life of an ideal citizen, one who gives and gives for the good of others. That is a principle at the heart of brick books, and it's beautifully embodied in the person of Kitty Lewis. Now, Kitty, well, I'm not.
You sound. Yeah.
Don thinks I'm.
Where's the mute button here?
Don thinks
they have one for Trump, you know.
Don thinks I'm finished, but
no,
but no, I'm not quite. I have now to ask, how much is Stan Dragland and Beth Follett love Kitty Lewis? We have named our cat Kitty Lewis. Here is a picture of Kitty. Can you see this? It's not a good picture. We couldn't get our printer to work. But that's Kitty Lewis. Now, I asked Kitty Lewis, our Kitty.
Higher. Put the picture higher so we can see it.
That it? Can you see? Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Not a good picture, sorry. But I asked our Kitty Lewis if she would join us in this tribute to her namesake, but she declined. She has her own agenda after all. She has to spend time at a window looking out at the world. She has to dart madly here and there, and she has to curl up and to sleep sometimes. And I'm really hoping, Kitty, that now that you're leaving behind Brick Books, an institution that you really made what it is, you'll be able to rush around at choice and sleep whenever you want. As far as I'm concerned, you have more than earned your retirement. Kitty, from the top and the middle and the bottom of my heart, I salute you. And here's a drink on that one.
Well, unlike Stan, I tried not to write things out. So I'm risking ad-libbing here. Kitty, I know we had a long phone call, and I hope you remember everything I said in that phone call, because I won't be repeating it all now. One of the things I want to do is show this picture of Kitty in 1955. I wonder if this is going to work. Can people see that? Yeah. There she is, beside the Long Sioux Rapids, with the Three Stooges, her brothers. And as you can see, Kitty is grinning. Kitty's got this beautiful natural grin on her face. And the rest of us are having a camera face, a typical camera face of the 50s, so on. So that just strikes me that I love that photograph because it has Kitty's natural, immediate generosity and warmth of being just comes straight out of it. Stan was talking, I was tempted to interrupt, the thought of what Stan and I were doing before Kitty came on, it's like, in my mind, it's like BK, before Kitty and after Kitty. Before Kitty, we were publishing books and storing them in our houses, in our garages, our basements, our children's bedrooms, just full of books, and we hardly ever got them out. We were not just hardly ever distributed. We made efforts at this and that, but there was nothing. Our poor children coming saying, could I have a space on the bookshelf to put Charlotte's Web, please? Said, no, kid, quit bitching, or you'll have to sleep in the hall, that kind of thing. As Stan put it so eloquent, Kitty was a game changer. And not just with brick, but I would say for the whole kind of whole wider poetry and literary community. There's a deep principle of cooperation, which we could do with kind of political science terms, but it just comes straight from the heart. I'm not saying Kitty was being manipulative or so on and so forth. She was just doing what came naturally, but it was so crucial, and crucial as time has gone by, to have that genuine spirit of cooperation. Poets meeting poets, Kitty setting a poet up to sleep with another, at someone else's house so that you'd have more funds for travel, et cetera, et cetera. The whole naturally occurring network has just been a joy to me. Kitty, as I said to you, you must understand my appreciation for that and admiration. I have an anecdote. This goes back some time. And the event was something like Governor General's ceremony, Governor's Award ceremony. I think it was in Toronto. And there was afterwards, and there was it was a schmooze fest, of course. And I was trying to schmooze. I didn't do this very well, but I was trying to schmooze. And there was an administrator, an important administrator from the Canada Council, whom I was obviously supposed to talk to. And it was extraordinarily stiff. And I said oh, I'm a poet. And his expression was pretty much, I'm trying to do the expression, I don't know if you can see it, but just, there was no reaction whatsoever. Oh, yes. I teach at a university. I teach at Western. Oh, yes. I also edit for Brick Books. I'm one of the editors for Brick Books. And his expression just changed. He whole lit up from inside. His whole light comes and says, "You're Kitty Lewis's brother." And from there on, things went on. He said, "Well, come on, I'll get you a drink. Would you care for a grant?" And so forth. "Where's my checkbook?" I made part of that up. But the first part, "You're Kitty Lewis's brother," has stuck with me. And I thought, I'm just going to keep that in my pocket. You never know when you're going to need that again. At Canada Customs, or with the CRA, when they're putting you in the handcuffs, you say, "I don't know if you realize, but I'm Kitty Lewis's brother," and they'll take the handcuffs. That is a fantasy, of course. But the fact is, I have been Kitty Lewis's brother for over 70 years, and it has been great in every respect. It's been such a great, huge addition and a benefit to my life to have been participating in Brick Books with you, as well as everything else. You come back to Newfoundland so we can celebrate properly. I can give you a big hug, and so on and so forth. Here's to you, Kitty. Yep. Stand.
Should we mute now?
We should mute.
So next we have Jean Mackay speaking. Jean, are you there? You can unmute yourself.
Yes, I have unmuted.
Perfect. So Jean was instrumental in the early years of Brick Books and has continued to support Brick and Kitty in so many ways for the past 45 years. Please, Jean, take the floor.
Well, it's an honor to be involved in this. When I first met Kitty, she was in grade 11. She was very excited about being the page turner for the pianist at a Sarnia Gilbert and Sullivan production. I don't mean to scare you. I'm not going to launch into a catalog of merry escapades from childhood, but we do go way back. I just want to establish my credibility when I say she's wonderful and always has been wonderful. A lot of you will know Kitty on the road, hosting a launch, running a book table, touring an author, all activities at which she excels. I want to say a few things about Kitty here at home in London, Ontario. First of all, as a speaker and promoter of poetry, she frequently goes into English classrooms at area high schools and at Western. She talks about publishing and takes along samples from the backlist to hand out to students. She's also been active with Poetry London. It's a very successful reading series that Cornelia Houblin began in 2004 with the cooperation of Carolyn Doyle at the Landon Library. Kitty's authors are frequent readers in the series. She helps to host them when they come to London and generally lends her support. She's also on the planning committee for WordFest, the annual fall writing festival here in London. And she's an enthusiastic member of the Landon Library Book Group. Her contributions are legion. As a publisher, she brings a perspective that few book groups are lucky to have. The mechanics of marketing, the politics of publishing. She goes to Ottawa when one of her authors wins the GG, or to Toronto for the Griffin, and then comes back and tells us all about it. And when Poetry Month comes along, she's encouraged me to choose a poetry title for our April book. She starts lobbying in September and usually manages to wear me down. Not that I'm dragging my heels anymore. I was reluctant at first because many people in the group were leery of poetry, but we began with Terry Sawchuk, and there wasn't anyone who didn't have some kind of relationship with hockey. Now they ask me whose poetry we're going to do. Kitty strikes a deal for us. She supplies a copy of the book for everyone, which people can either buy for half price or simply return to her. What could be more generous? We benefit enormously from her contributions to the group, and we're very proud of her. Finally, a word about the garage, the famous garage. Kitty lives in a subdivision of gently aging ranch-style houses, and no one would ever expect what's in that garage. I've been present when people have seen the door open for the first time. The reaction is always incredulous laughter. I've been doing a bit of math. Average number of books in a carton from the printer is 50. 2 cartons is 100 books. 20 cartons is 1,000 books. Standing on the central floor at any given time could be 5 ranks of 20 cartons. Then there are the shelves along the walls. The most amazing thing is that she knows where they all are. I think her brain is a spreadsheet. But listen, average number of poems per book is, say, 60. That's one potent garage. It's empty now, but I can still hear it humming. So there you have it. Who knows where we'll end up when we wander in the land of metaphor? Kitty Lewis is a humming garage. We're all incredibly lucky that we know her. Thanks.
Aw, thanks, Jean.
Thank you, Jean. That was beautiful. Next up is Barry Dempster. Barry, can you unmute yourself? Are you there, Barry?
I'm here. Can you see me?
Mm-hmm.
Where can you see me? I don't trust you. Where am I? I've been swallowed by.
I think most of you know, but Barry Dempster is the longtime acquisitions editor of Brick Books, an editor and poet extraordinaire, and he's going to say a few words.
Great. Thank you, Elena. I had more to say, but I think that, Kitty, your head is in danger of swelling, but it's a good swelling. I was most struck when I got involved with Brick that Kitty became sort of this cannonball shot from 431 Bowler Road in London, Ontario, ground zero for the best in Canadian poetry. And there were people who would actually take trips to London trying to track her down, not realizing that this was a post office address, not a home. In no time at all, though, Kitty had perfected the cross-country poet tours. To heck with the shy ones among us. We hit the road with fear and trembling, showing up at people's houses where a bed had been booked for us by Kitty. We read at schools, coffee shops, and bookstores, and when we got lost, it was often Kitty who rescued us on her own trips from group readings to conferences, putting Brick on the map. It was no surprise then that the poets from every province came to respect the quality of the Brick experience. Don and Stan were lauded for their editing prowess, and I built a reputation for writing a rejection letter that took the sting out of ouch. But first place in most everyone's wish list was the royal treatment that Kitty offered. Managing editor simply doesn't cut it. Kitty was Brick's social director, whirlwind, and Mother Courage. And if I can just, with love, thank you, Kitty, for all those wonderful years.
Thank you, Barry. Next, we have Maureen Scott Harris to say a few words. Maureen, are you there? Maureen?
I'm there as Peter. Anyway, Elena and Brenda, first of all, thank you for inviting me to say a few words about Kitty, was the phrase. And earlier today, I discovered I lost the really brilliant notes I made for this occasion a couple of weeks ago. But I also discovered that I didn't so much want to talk about Kitty as to her. So Kitty, mostly what I want to say is thank you for all you've added to my life. In that life, I've had several jobs I've enjoyed greatly, but working with you and for Brick Books was the most satisfying job I could imagine. You opened a huge doorway when you asked me around the year 2000, I think, if I'd be interested in working as production manager. I stepped through that doorway into a multitude of relationships with you, with the poets Brick published, with Brick's amazing editors, with the dedicated and amazing people who work in the independent publishing and bookselling world. And perhaps most importantly for me, into a world where poetry was central and where my sense of what poetry is and what it could do was continually expanded and enriched to the benefit of my life, but even more to the benefit of my own writing. So thank you so much for that. Now, working with you did often mean that my inbox was filled with emails written in the middle of the night. There were long phone conversations too, as we tried to work through questions we had about how the press operated, how we could be clearer in what we wanted from our authors, how we could get to translate poets' understanding of their work to terms the sales force could use to get those books onto the shelves in bookstores, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You are a generous and able collaborator, and I love feeling I was part of a team making such fine and lovely books out of those loose sheets of manuscript that arrived on my desk. I learned so much from your readiness to question what we were doing and to ask advice about others. As Elena said, what you did with heart. You were the heart of Brick Books, but you were the heart of, it felt to me part of the time, the heart of poetry. Here are some of the qualities that you embody that made working with you such a pleasure. They'll echo things that people have already said and things that people are going to say, I'm sure. Generosity, curiosity, energy, enthusiasm, dedication, attention to detail. And above all, you did show me that caring deeply about one's work is the key both to enjoying it and to doing it well. You cared so much for Brick and what happened at Brick, but you cared for every single person who came through the door to Brick in one way or another, and to people in the larger writing and selling community and the publishing community. You really are the heart of things. To put the icing on the cake, of course, that working relationship I had grew into a friendship. And value added, that friendship has expanded to include my larger family with visits to your summer place, and as well as getting together for meals whenever you and I possibly can. I'm looking forward to more time with you, one place or another, and one way or another, now that we're both Brick retirees. So thank you again, dear Kitty, for all you gave me and all you gave Brick.
Thank you, Maureen. And so the last speaker we'll have before Kitty speaks, and then we open it to spontaneous toasts, is Stephen Price. Stephen is a poet and a novelist and the author of 2 Brick books, Anatomy of Keys and Omens in the Year of the Ox. Are you here, Stephen?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Terrific. Well, Kitty, you're picking a good year to get out. That's what I would say. Never mind coronavirus or Trump. 2020 for me will forever be the year that Kitty Lewis stepped away from Brick Books. Kitty, this is a wonderful evening for you, I hope, but it's certainly bittersweet for your poets. And I say your poets because you've taken such good care of us over the years. So that's what we are, we're yours. You've been an immense force for goodness and kindness in Canadian poetry. I've known you for 15 years, the entire length of my publishing life. And I've never seen you say or do anything unkind to anyone. You're smart, you're no nonsense, you're witty, you're generous, you're patient. You have those glittering eyes and that lovely half smile as if you're secretly amused by something. You're the very best of us, as humble as you are true, someone who respects the dignity and value of everyone. It's almost impossible for me to imagine a Canadian publishing world without you in it. but I like to think you've touched so many of us so profoundly that the spirit of Kitty will go on. There'll never be another one like you. You'll be missed. So to Kitty, our friend, here's wishing you the very best of everything in the next part of your life. Congratulations.
To Kitty, everyone raise a glass, please. So I'd like to now invite Kitty to say a few words to all of us.
Okay, I put my glasses on. I am very pleased to have the chance to say a few words on my retirement from Brick Books after 30 years. And what fun to be doing this virtually so everyone can tune in from their homes, here, there, and everywhere. Thank you to Elena and Brenda and Marika for planning this event. I'm really tickled. I like being in the public eye when I am standing behind a sales table, or introducing authors at readings or promoting Brick Books. But I also really like staying in the background and getting the job done. How did I get involved with Brick Books? Well, there was a phone call one afternoon and the question, would you like to help out? I started by filling sales orders and bugging bookstores for overdue accounts and listening to the editors talk about the manuscripts that had come in the mail. Then I just kept on adding more and more. I left my day job in the year 2000 and then devoted most of my life to Brick Books. Well, I did pay some attention to my 2 sons and 2 grandchildren. My granddaughter Rhythm is used to the sound of me tippy-tapping on the laptop when she was trying to get to sleep. Brick Books celebrates 45 years in publishing in 2020. The Toronto International Festival of Authors will present a virtual event on Monday, October 26th at 5 p.m. featuring recorded conversations with co-founders standragland and Don Mackay, as well as authors, poets, and members of the Brick Books team, reading and reflecting on the publisher's rich history, hosted by publisher Elena Muntz. This is a free event, but you need to register at the Toronto International Festival author website. This brings back many memories of the celebration of our 40th anniversary of the Eden Mills Writers Festival, which Stan mentioned in his earlier. The festival organizers had given Brick Books their indoor venue, Rivermead, to program a day of poetry. And I had arranged to showcase many Brick Books authors from Victoria, Coburg, Toronto, St. John's, and Copenhagen. Later in the program, Don Mackay spoke about our first 40 years. He then turned the podium over to Stan Dragland, who had arrived that very minute from St. John's after a very circuitous and harrowing trip thanks to tropical storm and hurricane weather and canceled and rerouted flights. And then the tables turned. Stan directed the spotlight onto me. He had been collecting tributes and stories all summer from writers and publishing people that were presented in a beautiful booklet. The authors at the event read out their generous words. This was a big surprise because I didn't have a clue that this flurry of activity was percolating behind the scenes. I'm usually the one who has her finger on the pulse of Brick Books, but certainly not that time. There have been so many people who have been important to me during these years. One of the most gratifying parts of this job has been working with the authors and meeting them all across the country. After the hard back and forth process with their editors, the authors would come to me to discuss where they would like to travel to promote their new books and what festivals they would like to attend. I really enjoyed my role as Mother Hen in making sure they were comfortable with the arrangements and sharing my knowledge of the various venues. I have been very fortunate to spend time and become good friends with many of the authors through the years. Thank you to the current and past editors and personnel at Brick Books. Working with you has really enriched my life. It has been a very interesting 30 years in publishing. There have been lots of changes since I started, but one of the things that has remained constant is the generosity and support of publishers, trade associations, granting agencies, festival organizers and reading series, and bookstores. Thanks to all my fellow publishers who have been willing to answer my many questions and give advice through the years. Thanks to the Literary Press Group that has been crucial to our success at Brick Books. Because many of the literary presses have only 2 or 3 staff members and there are only so many hours in a day, The services, including All Lit Up, offered by the LPG are invaluable. We really appreciate your support, creativity, and energy in getting our books into the marketplace. Thanks to the Association of Canadian Publishers for their work in creating projects such as eBound Canada, BookNet Canada, the 49th Shelf, and especially their mentoring services. Thanks to the Ontario Book Publishing Organization for their lobbying and special projects. Thanks to the League of Canadian Poets for giving me an honorary membership in 2014. Thanks to the granting agencies, the Canada Council for the Arts, the Ontario Arts Council, Department of Canadian Heritage, Ontario Creates, and their Ontario Book Publishing Tax Credits. One thing I didn't understand in the earlier years is that the granting officers are not gatekeepers trying to keep people out. They actually want to help publishers get money to support their activities. Thanks to the festival organizers and the many reading series across the country for your invitations to the authors. And thanks to the bookstores for stocking and selling our books and hosting events. In the early years, there was not as much support for author reading tours. I was very nervous at first when I contacted bookstores to set up launches and readings, but was soon able to compile a list of supportive booksellers, and it became much easier. A few highlights. Travel. I have been very lucky to travel far and wide to host events and sell our books, from Victoria all the way to St. John's, also to Whitehorse and Yellowknife with a number of authors, and at various conferences across Canada in the United States. Awards. I know that awards are not the be-all and end-all, but my feeling is that nominations and award wins give the authors an extra pat on the back for their work, and that makes me happy. Our books had been shortlisted or won the Pat Lowther Award and the Gerald Lampert Award through the League of Canadian Poets from 1991 onwards. I remember early in my days with Brick Books hoping for a nomination for the Governor General's Award for Poetry, and then I could retire and feel fulfilled. I was talking about this with Patrick Friesen on the phone one night, and then found out that his book, A Broken Bowl, and Carol Angel's collection, In Cannon Cave, had been shortlisted in 1997. Then 3 of our titles were shortlisted in 1998. Songs for Relinquishing the Earth by Jan Zwicky, The True Names of Birds by Sue Goyette, and The Bridge That Carries the Road by Lynn Davies. And Jan Zwicky won the GG that year. 12 more nominations to date for this award, with wins for All Our Wonder Unavenged by the late Don Domansky in 2007, for Monkey Ranch by Julie Bruck in 2012, and for Lake of Two Mountains by Arlene Paré in 2014. We got all dolled up for the ceremonies at Rideau Hall. Then the Griffin Poetry Prize, 5 nominations with 2 wins, Concrete and Wild Carrot by Margaret Avison in 2003, and Blue Sonoma by Jane Monroe in 2015. Margaret's reaction to the win was priceless. This is ridiculous. You aren't thinking of prizes when you're in your room writing poems. The Griffin Poetry Prize events are also very snazzy. 2 last plugs. Tune into the Brick Books 45th anniversary celebration presented by the Toronto International Festival of Authors on Monday, October 26th at 5 p.m. You will need to register at their website. And don't forget, you can always buy books or ebooks from the Brick Books website, brickbooks.ca, and follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. One last thing, please send a little note in the chat feature. I would love to know who's partying with me. I can't be, scrolling back and forth to see who all is here. And finally, the past 30 years have been very fulfilling and satisfying for me. And I so appreciate all the wonderful people I've met in this industry through the years. As I mosey along into the sunset, I have full confidence that the name of Brick Books will continue to resonate in the world of poetry. Thanks to everyone. It has been quite an amazing ride.
Well, let's everyone raise a glass if you have one to the great-hearted force that is Kitty Lewis, to all that she has done for poetry in this country and small press publishing in this country and literary community building in this country. To Kitty. So I would like to now open the floor to people who want to say a short toast. if you can use the raise your hand function by clicking in the participants icon at the bottom, we'll proceed by in that way. So there's too many people to actually raise your hand. So just raise your hand if you'd like to say a few words. Or if that's difficult, then you can also try to raise your actual hand or make a comment in the function saying, I'd like to speak. Or just unmute yourself and start speaking, I guess.
Brian Henderson, go ahead.
Hey there, Kitty. You look fabulous tonight. You and I go back quite some time, and probably almost from the day you started at Brick. And maybe not the exact day, but it would certainly be the Learneds, possibly, back in the mid-90s, somewhere in there. I might have been at Oxford University Press. I might have been, God knows where I might have been as a publisher. But I got to know you in that context at Learneds, and I would stop by the booth and look at what was going on with Brick, and you'd chat up the books, and you would just be so open and so just present that, you know, in comparison to everybody else's booth, including our own, people were, you know, trying to push books on people. And I don't know, it was so refreshing just to stop by the Brick Book booth. And so I hadn't even thought about sending a manuscript to Brick or anything. And it was the Mackays who got me caught into that. And you're just one of them, I'm afraid. But it's been a great ride, and I've enjoyed working with you on the books that Brick did, and you've just been, you know, like Brick Books has a rock to anchor it, and well, maybe it's a brick, but you are that, and we're that. And so I hope in your new life, you know, you're going to be able to put all of your energies and your talents and your interests somewhere else. And I know that that's not going to be an easy transition, but you know what? Maybe we could get together at Mudtown for a couple of lunches or dinners or whatever. And I really appreciated working with you, and you are the best. Best wishes for your retirement, my dear.
Thanks, Brian.
Arlene Perret. I think you have to unmute yourself.
Unmute you. Yeah. So, Kitty, you know how much I adore you and love you and appreciate you already. And I just hope that we remain friends for the rest of my life and the rest of your life. And you are such a phenomenon, so fearless, so ferocious, and so friendly all at once. You are really special, the gold standard. Here's to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And I have something to say as well. And that is, I know you've helped many, many poets, but I'm probably one of the few people you helped become a bartender. and various festivals like Victoria Festival have benefited from that, as well as Brick Books. But also, you really make Brick Books work. And whenever I speak to any poets, I always tell them that Brick Books is the very best, without question, the very best poetry press in Canada and poetry publisher, I guess, in Canada. And I studied literature, so I looked at a lot of presses. And anyway, it's all, much of it is down to you.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Kitty, so
a real
much
pleasure
for everything.
to have you.
Yeah.
And it's even a pleasure getting beaten by you regularly.
I know, you're the only person
Very
who
good
beats
for me.
Chris.
No, I'm not the only one, but so regularly. It's lovely. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah. Susan Gillis, go ahead.
Hi, everyone, and Kitty especially. Hi, and thank you. I looking around at this party, I don't know whether to say, oh my God, look at the huge hole that you're leaving in Canadian poetry, or whether to say, oh my God, look at what you've fostered. It's wonderful to know you and have been part of the Brick family, and you'll be so missed, Kitty. We treasure you. Thank you.
Nick and Sue.
Yeah, hi, Kitty. We just wanted to say hi and thanks and congratulations. And I just known you for a few years now and worked with you for some of them. And I just want to say that, like your support and your friendliness, and like the more years go by, it's almost shocking to me, especially with the way so many things seem like now. And just thanks for everything you've done, and I hope you get on planes again sometime soon, and do what you love to do, which is be around people and support us. So thank you.
And Nick was just saying that he's never been on a 100-person Zoom call before, so thanks for that first, Kitty.
I know.
But I mean, I've just been thinking about the number of different people that have come up to me at various points and said, oh, I met Kitty Lewis, and she sort of mentioned you, and like that relationship building. And it's not just poets, right? People from other parts of my life somehow. I also, this has been spoken about already, but when Nick published his first book, Kitty, you were digging up reviews of Nick's book and making sure that we knew about those too. So yeah, I really appreciate that cooperative spirit that you've brought to Canadian poetry. Cheers, Kitty.
You.
Eric Van Bart, our trusty accountant.
Oh.
Kitty, it's great to see you tonight. Thanks for having us. Always dangerous to give an accountant an open mic. Definitely the biggest Zoom I've ever been in. But just a quick trip down memory lane. I remember working with you in Brick Books back in 2006, my second year as an accountant. And it's been a fun ride. I remember Kitty would always drop off a bag of records, but before anyone worries about a bag, it was very well organized. And Kitty would always give us the books that were published during the year. So it livened up our days in the office there, where when we were working on the year end, we could have a little poetry reading and spread some joy throughout the office there. We've got the Byron connection, born and raised, and from being to your home, I'm glad we never had to audit the inventory there, because I've heard about this garage.
That's next year, Eric.
There we go. So all the best in retirement, Kitty.
Thanks, Eric. I didn't realize you actually read the book. That's great.
John Steffler.
Can you? Yeah. Hello, Kitty. It's so great to see you and to see so many of your friends gathered around wishing you well. And I want to add my voice. I wish you all the best for a wonderful future. We're really going to miss you at Brick. I can't believe that you'll be going. And you were really the heart of the organization. One of the things that always struck me is that you really knew how to work the system. You really knew how it worked. And you helped all of this by putting together reading tours and funneling of bits of grant money this way and that and so on. So I want to thank you personally and thank you on behalf of all your authors. You've been an incredible force in Canadian poetry and Canadian publishing. Here's to you.
Thanks, John.
Cheers.
Sonnet.
Tried writing out my thing to post and it wouldn't post, and now there's a document up there. I'm just going to say what's in the document to you, Kitty. So I'm actually not sure where we first met, but I know that after a while, when I still lived in Toronto and it just started, you would greet me so warmly at launches and readings, and I started to see you at conferences. It took me a while to understand that you were Brick, because I feel like I'd always see you with different people. Like I know I saw you with Alana Wilcox at one point, and I know you saw you like leaving with somebody else, and I was like, what? Who is she with? And so I always really appreciated that, and that you made me feel like a known quantity, like a good poet and part of the community when I was not a Brick poet. And that really, through you, I started to understand that a poetry community even existed and helped me understand how it worked. You always made the schmoozy environments feel human. And I think of your generosity sometimes in hindsight. I think of some of the mistakes I made, and I realized that I made them with you, and that you just didn't even say anything, and we're just like, lovely. And I just, yeah, your generosity has really stayed with me. This year particularly, just like a personal anecdote about when we went into lockdown, and I was sharing poetry and song for days, just trying to connect with people. You sent me a note saying, or a couple of notes sometimes, just saying that I was helpful. But I think, those notes for me were, you must have known that they would be helpful for me too. And I just think that that gesture exemplifies how I've experienced you in the couple of decades that I've seen you around, is that you can make the smallest gesture feel like the hugest act of warmth and welcome and acknowledgement. And that is really amazing. And I think that a standing room only Zoom party where people are like kind of turned away at the door just speaks to how many people feel the same way. So congratulations and enjoy your retirement, and you will be missed.
Thanks, Sonnet.
Bianca and Paul, you are next.
Now.
Hi, Kitty, and congratulations on your retirement. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, I wanted to share a little story. I've known Kitty for 22 years now, and when I first met Kitty, I had just found my way to the world of poetry and writing and publishing, and I was brand new in this community, and Kitty is one of the people who immediately made me feel like I could belong. And I think that a lot of us feel that way about Kitty. And within 5 minutes of talking to Kitty, I knew several things. I knew that she worked for Brick Books. I knew that she was Don's sister. I know that because she asked me who my favorite poets were. And when I said Don was one of them, she said, that's my brother. And I knew that we had both spent our formative years in Sarnia, and we bonded over that. And I knew that I would have a friend for life.
Kitty, first of all, I know people have said this in the chat, but holy heck, you look great. Fabulous. This look, outstanding. Thank you for everything. You are one of these quiet superheroes that I have watched and tried to pay attention to and learn from, in the way that you were saying that you like to get down to work and do stuff, and but you still sparkle all the time, not just tonight, but every day. So thank you for sparkling. I am totally going to miss coming to work and getting emails from you that are time stamped at like 3:30 in the morning, because clearly you do not ever rest. I think one of my saddest memories is the last time I saw you was in the office, and you had just returned from travels, and it was just before we went into lockdown, and we had to do this air hug from opposite sides of the boardroom table. And if there was ever a time where I am super sad that I missed out on one of those legendary hugs, that is the day. So I look forward to us getting together when I can give you that hug in real life And I wish you all good things for what comes next. I can't wait to see what happens. Take care and all the best to you.
And I'll just, one last thing I'll add. When Bianca and I were first dating, and we went to a literary festival together, and we saw you across the street, and I said, "Oh, look, there's Kitty. Let's go get hugs." We love you, Kitty.
We love you.
Thanks, you guys.
Linda Leith.
Yes, hello. And hello, Kitty. It's so good to be here. And I'm not part of the poetry world, as most of you are, but you and I first were in touch, Kitty, 40 years ago, when I was publisher and editor of Matrix magazine in Montreal.
Oh, right.
And you bought an ad or two, which I was desperately selling. And then we got to know each other more when I was at Blue Metropolis, and you were pitching your poets to come to Blue Met. And it might have been then that we actually met, or it might have only been in the last 10 years when I've been a publisher. And I've been so happy to know you, and you've been the friendliest face in Canadian publishing. And it's always been a pleasure for me and for David, who is here now too, to see you and hang out. And so sad to see you leave Brick, and wish you so much happiness in what's to follow.
Thanks, Linda.
Welcome. Did you unmute?
I better unmute.
Maureen Hines.
Unmute. Okay. Hello, Kitty, and huge congratulations on such an enormously successful career. You know, there are people outside the literary community who, when I say to them, my book was just accepted by Brick, and I'm thrilled about that. And one of the reasons I've been always so excited to be accepted by Brick is because of you. And, you know, for people outside the literary community who don't know you, I say, and this is with the greatest of respect and appreciation, I say, on a scale of 1 to 10 in warmth and extroversion, Kitty is at about 40. And it's just such an extraordinary gift on your part to have this warmth, to extend it to everyone, and really to use your extroversion to promote the press and your authors. I remember, I forget the name of the conference, the big American conference of publishers. And this is a number of years ago when I didn't have a book with Brick, but you sent out this information that you had been at this conference, and you went from table to table to table asking if the journal publishers would accept Canadian authors. And then you created a spreadsheet of this and made it available to all your current and former authors. Kitty, that's phenomenal. That is so generous. Thank you so much.
Great.
If anyone else would like to say one final thing, now is the time.
Elaine, I want to just chime in here. I'm wondering, I don't know if this is going to break the internet or not, but I'm wondering if everybody could turn off their mute and we could give Kitty a big round of applause. Thank you so much for everything you've done. We all appreciate it so much. Yes. Thank you, Kitty. You're amazing. Probably alarms going off at secrets right now.
Well, thank you everyone for coming to celebrate Kitty. It's been such a lovely hour, a well-deserved hour. I'm really just, my heart is full that Kitty has been celebrated the way that she deserves to be celebrated in a pandemic. So be well, be kind to one another, read poetry, and hopefully we'll see each other again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been wonderful. Thank you.
I hate to sign off.
Yeah.
Well, we will stay on for a few moments if anyone would like to say anything to Kitty privately. Well, privately with Elena and I here. Feel free.
We'll
Amy,
leave it open for a while.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm saying
It's only
goodbye.
for now.
No, this is not goodbye. This is
I'll still be around.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll post the recording on our website.
My camera's on. Post what?
We'll post the recording on our website if anyone missed it.
Oh, great.
Get in. So
Who said that?
Brenda.
Oh, Brenda. Great. Awesome. Okay.
And Amy Dunn, I see that your hand is up, so please feel free to say something.
I just wanted to say a quick hi, Kitty. I missed the beginning. I was putting my kids to bed, but it was lovely to jump on at the end there and see all the wonderful things everyone was saying. And of course, you know, I adore you as well. So I'm hoping we get to see each other soon and enjoy your retirement. Go have some fun as much as you can, I guess. So yes, miss you.
Thanks, Amy.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed you, Kitty. Okay. So.
Mudtown, Kitty.
Pardon? Oh, yeah, we'll do it.
We'll do it.
Hey, Kitty, where are you right now? Are you in
I'm in London.
You're in London, okay.
Yeah.
Where can anybody be at home, right?
Well, I wondered if perhaps you were in Owen Sound or up near.
No, I don't have a furnace there, so it's been a little chilly, so I moved back a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Yes, and I miss you.
I know. You get to have me in the summer.
It's been so great to see your brick world. I've heard so much about it over the last 10 summers.
Exactly, yeah.
Being your trainer. So hello, everybody that's still there. And Kitty, you look better than the queen, I tell you. I love your hair and everything. You're gorgeous tonight. Even more better looking than you're always bright, like everybody's been saying. So knowing you as I have over the last 10 years, it's great to hear what all these wonderful people have said about you. What a joy to know you, Kitty. And get back here soon, huh? Love you. Mwah.
Thanks, sweetie.
Yeah, we love you too, Kitty. From my tribe to yours.
Oh,
yeah.
You're pretty far away, Julie.
Yeah, but you know, we're
not that far.
We're still on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, to be continued.
Yes, exactly.
It's Roberta from Calgary. I'll be really glad when COVID's over and you can come back out to Calgary and maybe do some friendliness on Jason Kenney, who we're stuck with for a while.
Oh, yeah. We've got a not so nice one here in Ontario as well.
Yeah, at least he has some compassion. But anyway, yeah, we need to commiserate.
We do.
Well, we've got the Trump thing tonight, so.
I know, yes. Has it started?
The
debate yet?
20 minutes, but I'm gonna make dinner for people and then we'll deal with it later. Yeah. I can't deal with it now.
No.
Yeah, these things are best seen ipso facto, you know? Anyway, Kitty, one more time. We love you.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Okay.
Hey, Kitty.
Hey, Sally, George.
Good night. Hi, this was great. Lovely to see you. Congratulations, Kitty.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for this event. It was awesome.
I can
And
grab
just in
grab the
case
cat if you
the
want.
video doesn't capture the chat, I've been like trying to capture screenshots of the chat. So
okay.
if you need it, let me know. I've got.
Okay.
I'll save all the JPEG files.
Okay.
Okay. See you
But-
soon.
Okay.
Organizers can save the chat, right?
I
Like
think so.
whoever's running this, you can save the chat off, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, we're gonna save the chat. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I was just curious because I was on one last night that Maureen Hines was reading at the Poets Corner in Vancouver, and they said that they couldn't save the chat, so maybe they just didn't know how to.
You have to, you have to enable it in your settings first.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then there's also the possibility, if everybody looks at the chat, there's the 3 dots button at the bottom, and you can go save chat there.
Oh.
See?
No.
Where at the bottom?
I don't know if I think that I think that we have to do it as the host. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I see the 3 dots.
I've been highlighting and saving it anyway, so because I'm like that.
Yeah. And I'm like that too. And as it turns out, even we can save the chat.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Final bye to you.
Bye,
Love you,
Kitty.
Kitty.
Take care. Love you.
Congratulations on
Yeah.
being so brilliant.
Bye. Cheers.
Brilliant and beautiful and fun.
Yeah.
We could want more. We will now stagger away. Way too many toasts.
Hey, Brian and Karen.
Hi. Whoa, you switched to a different part of the screen. Okay.
Yeah, so next time you're in Vancouver, just give us a buzz and.
Oh, totally. Well, I always do. Whenever I come to Vancouver, you're always on my list.
Yeah.
I hope that that's not too far off.
Oh, I know.
Hopefully we can meet in person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You guys doing okay?
Yeah.
Off and on, it's a weird wave.
This event is sort of making me realize how, I don't know, COVID in a deeper way, because this is such a it's nice virtually, but I haven't actually socialized like this in a long time. And it's making me like remember parties and our work gatherings.
Yeah.
And it's making me feel sad that who knows when
Rooms
we'll
full of
have
people.
those. Like,
yeah.
And I hope with our, when we do have those work gatherings that you'll at least come for the social parts still sometimes.
Yes.
Probably. Sure.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Room full of poets? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it depends where
We'll
it's
invite.
Well, and I was gonna do Word on the Street in Toronto this year, but it was canceled. So maybe I'll have to come next year if it's on, so I get to see everybody.
This has been lovely.
It has been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been fabulous, Kitty. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Brian, we'll see you next summer.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And congrats for reminding us all.
I guess we can wave.
Yeah, we can wait.
There's life after publishing. So that's
There he is. There he is.
You have to wave on the screen.
Hey, Dawn.
Bye, Kitty.
Goodbye,
Hi,
Kitty.
darlings.
Hi, Dawn.
There looks
Thank
great,
you.
Kitty.
Thanks a
Hi,
lot.
You okay? We'll see you soon, I hope.
Okay.
Hi, Don.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye, Stan.
Bye-bye, Kitty. Bye-bye, Kitty. This was a lovely celebration. You deserved
Bye,
every
Maureen.
moment of it.
See you at the next reading.
Hey, Kitty. It's Jackie in Montreal.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I was just thinking about the time passed, and I started working for the LPG in 1997. So it's been 23 years.
Wow.
And I mean, I can't say anything that hasn't already been said here. I don't have anything to add. You're one of the most kindest, most joyful people I've met in my long tenure in book publishing. And thanks to your mentorship, I think that the MQP poets are served quite well. And I was going to get Emmeline to come in here, my very tall 15-year-old, so I could put a display of why I left the literary press.
Yeah.
But she's being shy. But anyways, it's just wonderful to see you. You look amazing. I'm really happy for you in your retirement. And it was nice to be a part of all of this. So.
Oh, thanks, Jackie. I love following you on Facebook, so I know what you and the girls are up to.
Well, we live part-time in America, so all the talks about the border has been, and travel, I mean, that's such a big part of our industry, you know. I think all of us are feeling a little bit contained, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for, yes, I post lots of pictures of my children on social media.
Lovely to see you.
Likewise.
Thanks for coming to the party.
Nice.
Kitty, do you want to show your cake?
Yes, I know I should have. Let me see if I can move things away so I don't tip over. This beautiful cake was delivered.
Oh.
Kitty had such a beautiful, oh, wonderful.
Lovely.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. Lower it a little so I can see. I want to see how oh, I can't quite see I asked them to write something on it. I want to see.
Oh, they did.
Is that a donut jammed into the top of that cake?
Yeah. I'll take a picture and send it to you. I'll post it on Facebook.
Okay.
Well, actually, and send it to you. It's a fabulous cake. And I have some friends coming over tomorrow to help me eat it.
Awesome.
Well, Kitty, it's really great to see you. You are such a special person. I feel so privileged to have been in your orbit with Brick Books. I've known you almost for exactly 20 years, and I'm grateful for all the time we had together. And I hope I'll see you again. I will see you again, right?
See me again. Yeah.
Good. Once the plague is finished.
Yeah.
And,
thanks, Adam.
Take care of yourself, Kitty, and we'll talk soon.
I will. Thanks a lot.
I think I see Stan and Dawn actually eating cake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sweet cake. Thanks for picking that up.
Oh, nice.
Making me hungry.
Dan baked this himself.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And it's very beautiful. Yeah, it's very beautiful, and it's almost edible too.
Kitty, we're going to sign off. We're going to do a little work before the poetry thing at the Writers' Fest tonight.
Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah. Great to see you guys. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
We love you.
Love you. We'll be in touch.
See you next time in Vancouver.
Okay,
Great.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye. See you, Jackie.
Good to see you. Oh, no.
Kitty, can I just say, I still remember a long time ago now, you were in Winnipeg for one of those, remember those big omnibus brick events you'd have where you'd come into town, usually with the LPG meetings, and then you'd have every brick author from Winnipeg come and read. And I was like little and scared, and I went to one of those events, and you were so nice to me. It was like, you know, because people, not everybody is always super nice to new poets, but you were like, oh, hello. And you were so encouraging and so nice. And I don't know, I still remember that. And I, later, because I worked for U of M Press, I got to hang out with you at Congress, and we'd go for those dinners sometimes, and with Claire Hitchens and Noelle Allen, and oh, I still remember that dinner we went to at that like Italian place where we sort of like it was like the best meal that you could ever have. You know, like smart people and bookish people. And the next time I went to Congress, you weren't there, and I was like, where's Kitty? How can I be at Congress without Kitty? So it was yeah, I was sad to not have you be there. And yeah, and you've done such great work, and the press, Brick, is amazing because of you, because of everybody else's work, but because of you, because people get to have the experience of their books with you and through you. And that's important. Those relationships are so important.
Oh, thanks, Ariel. But yeah, you were, and then we met on the street, didn't we, after that event? And I said, hey, do you want some books? Right?
Oh, and I will never forget getting cereal boxes full of poetry books in the mail.
Yeah.
Oh, it was my favorite thing in the entire world. And also giving books to students, right? Like, and being able to have workshops and to give out books. I mean, it was like riches. It was like handing out. And I tried to match the books to the students.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the best thing ever. And I think then that way Brick was so forward thinking, right? Like, hey, we've got backlist. We've got a garage full of backlist. Like, let's figure out how to get these books out and doing the work that they're supposed to be doing.
Well, that's what I felt. I mean, they were sitting in my garage getting dusty. So I thought, like, let's get them out there somehow. So
yeah, I think it was a super generous thing to do. And I know I always really appreciated it. And everyone that I took those books to always was really happy. So yeah.
Good. Well, thanks.
I'm going to miss you. I already missed you, but I'm going to miss you more.
Aw. Thanks, Ariel.
And I'm sad. I mean, I'm sad I never got to have the Brick Kitty Lewis experience.
Well.
Sorry, Kitty, I keep thinking I don't want to go home, but I'm home and I have to go home.
Okay.
Anyway, take care, my dear. Thank you for being the occasion for such a great get together.
Thanks, sweetheart.
And congratulations, and we'll talk soon.
We will talk soon. Okay. Night, night.
Well, maybe we should call
Thanks
it
so much, Kitty, for everything.
Well, thank you too. I mean, the cake is amazing.
Yeah. Kitty, we're going to sign off now.
Okay.
But I also want to thank Elena and Brenda for putting this on. It's been a great occasion.
Yeah.
And have all these people putting the screen.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. And congratulations and thanks again.
Yeah, thank you, Kitty.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kitty.
Okay.
We'll talk soon.
Okay, good night. Thanks, Elena and Brenda. This has been great.
What a good night, Kitty. You deserve every minute of it. I'm so glad. It's actually like one of the best Zoom events I have ever been to, hands down.
It's not one of.
I would be best. Yes, I would say it was just like as you deserve. So full of heart and so natural, and I'm so glad it went the way it did.
Yeah. Well, thanks for such, planning it all and organizing it, and I think it's a very nice send off.
And you'll be able to look back at it.
I know, and read all the comments that I haven't been able to read. So
I know there were so many. You'll have a good time, I think.
I'll be busy. Yeah.
I sent you a chat transcript, but I'm going to save it again and send another version because there's been a few more.
Okay.
The recording might take a while to process, but I'll send the link to you once it's recorded and we'll put it up on the BRIC website too.
Okay. Thanks, my dear.
All right.
This has been fun.
I'm gonna go put Clem to bed late. Good night.
Okay.
I've been in front of the television. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.